Helping Seniors Television, all about improving quality of life for seniors. If you're a senior, know a senior, or plan to be a senior, then this show is for you. It's all about helping you develop your own aging plan so you can age actively and with dignity. Helping Seniors Television from the Helping Seniors Network of information, education, and resources. On today's edition of Helping Seniors TV, learn about getting help that can help you stay at home safely and longer. It's all about how Seniors Helping Seniors helps seniors. Let's join guests Jennifer Helin and Riki Montgomery of Seniors Helping Seniors as they talk with Helping Seniors of Brevard TV program host and longtime senior advocate Joe Steckler.
This is Joe Steckler, folks. We're privileged this afternoon or today to have a couple of ladies from a kind of a unique in-home care assistance program, Seniors Helping Seniors. And I have the owner with me, Jennifer Helin, and Riki Montgomery, who is the new office manager. Well, I say new, it's the first time I've talked to her on the phone, but I'd never met her in person. And you've been here roughly a year now. Mm-hmm. I want Jennifer to explain a little bit about what Seniors Helping does. And then we've got some special questions we want to talk about today that we don't generally talk about with home care assistance organizations. But I think it's important that we talk about these type of things because you're not going to get this type of an explanation from any pamphlet, a paper, or anything else other than you get from somebody that works with people, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Jennifer, just basically speaking, what is Seniors Helping Seniors, and why is it a little bit different and unique from the average assistance program we see?
We really do work with seniors and match those active, healthy seniors. We pair them with seniors who need a little bit of help. So we really are seniors helping seniors. So we only work with folks who are 50 plus. Send them out to seniors' homes that need a little extra help with transportation, light housekeeping, meal preparation, pretty much anything non-medical we can do. Organization, handyman. If they need it, we can figure out a way to do it. But it's all by seniors. So it's someone a little closer in age, someone who is very compassionate, understanding. They speak the same language. They know what a phone book is.
You're not sending a 17-year-old into a 90-year-old's home.
No.
And that makes a lot of difference.
It really does, because kids today, they don't know what a phone book is. It's not a joke. They Google everything. Yeah. So it's good to have someone who really does understand and has been there and has some life experience that they can share.
Well, being that I am a senior citizen myself, I understand the complexities and the difficulties in doing at my age, well, at 83, what I used to do at 73 or 63. And I'm not as mobile. There's nothing wrong with my mind. My mind is still as active. But I can no longer lift weights like I used to. I can't walk as safely as I used to. I have to be more cognizant of using a cane. I'm not ashamed to say I use a walker or a four-wheel device. I don't like the three-wheelers because I think the three-wheelers, and I'll say it very, very, very bluntly, I think the three-wheelers are more dangerous than the four-wheelers because I myself have lost my balance. And I know if I lose my balance to the right or the left, if I have that wheel on a point on the right and the left, there's more of a chance I can balance myself. So what I'm saying is that by using seniors to go in to take care of other seniors, the two mesh together better. They can understand what the problems are. And I think that's significant because in the last year, how much do you estimate your business has grown?
Well, we were talking earlier that we are, first quarter this year, we are 50%. It has grown over last year, first quarter. So we're up 50%.
And how many people do you have employed?
We have about 90.
That says an awful lot. It says an awful lot. And you're now thinking about expanding to the north of the county also.
We are.
You already have?
Yes.
So who's doing the marketing of it, your mother or you?
I am.
You won't let her drive that far?
No. She's very capable. I just don't want her to overdo it.
Well, now if you buy her a big car.
I hope Rosemary's not listening.
You know, in a couple of years, they're going to have cars that drive themselves. So Rosemary can just sit in the car and take a nap, and it'll take her where she
would
wants to
love
go.
that. She
She'd
would
love
sit
that.
there and work. She might quilt in the car too. I don't know.
All joking aside, but it's extremely important, I think, Jennifer, that as you get into the home health care business, that if you can keep a sense of humor, a sense of change, being willing to change, doing things differently, that it's going to make your service more acceptable to the people that you're trying to serve, namely seniors.
And that's actually one thing that we try not to do, is we try not to change their schedules, their patterns. If they have cleaned their bathroom that way for 40 years, we don't want to change that. If they've made their bed that way for how many years, we'll work right alongside them. How do you do it? And then we'll continue to do it that way. So we really try to come in and make things as comfortable as possible, keep the routines the same. Obviously, we encourage, maybe where we need to drink more or to get out and be more social, but we really try to stress that we're not there to take over. We're here to keep you at home where you want to be, safely, successfully, and just a little bit more comfortably.
Okay, I'm going to give you a challenge.
Uh-oh.
And the next time you check your clients, and when you go into their homes, ask them, just pick 3.
Okay.
And ask them if the people that cleaned their home and were tidying up put the things back in the same place.
We do.
You might think you do.
Well, because what happens when you don't is they will tell you.
What happened? They tell you?
And I always tell them, it takes a time or two for us to learn the house. So to be patient with us, because we don't know that. I have one client, her dishes that she uses on a day-to-day basis, they stay in the drying rack. They don't go in a cupboard. So, we automatically start putting things away in cupboards. No, her things stay right there in the drainer.
Well, I want to tell you, we've had a cleaning service come into our house. We've had several different ones. And like something might be here on top of something, and then after they clean, it may be over here. It may be probably not there. It might be here or here. We find that there's a tendency for people that come into your home to not put back things in the same place. It drives you nuts. But it interesting. And so sometimes ask your seniors if the things are put back in, and then tell me sometime what kind of answer you got.
All right, we'll ask.
I would like to know. But what are some of the biggest challenges that you think that you've faced since you started helping seniors from then till now in trying to serve your clients? Maybe to try to get your clients to do something maybe a little safer or a little easier for them, because your people might see a way for the persons receiving the care to be helped a little, to make it easier for them or safer for them. And I'm sure that these people talk to each other, because I know my people used to do the same thing.
So I'm going to take this, but you correct me if I'm wrong, or if you think that there's an addition we should have.
Okay.
I think our biggest challenge in the beginning especially was getting the word out of what we do and why we do it the way that we do it. And it's different. It's not a 20-something-year-old coming in. It is someone a little closer in age, and it's much more tolerable. A lot of people don't want to have help in the home, but this is a little bit easier to take because it is someone that's not there to take over. They're not wearing scrubs. In the grocery store, you can say, hey, this is my friend helping me. You don't have to tell anybody that this is a caregiver. So it's much more tolerable than people think it's going to be.
I agree.
And sometimes people will refuse help. I can do it myself. I can do it myself. I can do it myself. We had a lovely couple that they refused all services, us, anyone else, to the point where they both ended up in a nursing home. And it didn't have to happen. If they had a little bit of help in the beginning, they could have stayed successfully in their home, but they just wouldn't accept it. They didn't take their medications. They didn't eat properly. They didn't hydrate properly. And unfortunately, they went from home to the worst case scenario.
That's not good.
No.
Do you do like grocery shopping?
Yes.
Do you try to help them establish a more nutritional diet?
Yes, and that was going to be my second. That can be a challenge. Trying to get people out of some of the unhealthy patterns and encouraging them slowly to eat more healthy, to drink more. That can be challenging. If we are shopping for them, it's a little easier. If they're coming with us, we have one gentleman who's kind of like one of my guys. They'll just add cookies and pie and ice cream to the cart. So you have to find that balance of letting them have that sweet, but encouraging the healthy food first and then the sweet. And getting seniors to drink can be so difficult.
What, water? Mm-hmm. Drink water?
Beer and coffee doesn't count, Joe.
Doesn't count. That's okay. That is all right. That's okay.
Exactly. That's the reaction you get.
Yeah.
Water?
I'm the world's worst about drinking water, and I'll admit it. I know I should drink more of it, and probably if I drank more water, I probably wouldn't retain as much fluid in my lower legs as I do. Mm-hmm. There's a definite reason why we should follow better rules of engagement on our health care than we normally practice, and it's done for a reason. And the older we get, the reasons become more important. Yes. So I think it's more important that people recognize earlier in their life that they should do these things later in life. Riki, we're talking all the time to Jennifer. You're just smiling. What is your job there as the office manager?
I just kind of, I try to keep Jennifer's schedule in order. She's a busy lady, and Rosemary is out doing marketing, so she's busy too. We just try to keep everybody's schedule in order and keep the home fires burning while they're out meeting and greeting people. And
I think one of the most important jobs that Riki has is she does all of our provider service records come into the office.
Well, I was going to say.
And Riki reads every single one. So she knows exactly what's going on with her clients. As we've gotten a little bigger, we've had to divide some responsibilities. And so I rely on Riki now to let me know, hey, this client's not drinking enough. This client is starting to, the dementia is starting to increase. She's declining a little bit with her memory. So that to me, knowing that Riki has worked in medical offices before, she's keeping an eye on things, she's talking to our seniors that are working in the field, she's talking to them on a regular basis.
Well,
so she's keeping an eye on things for me.
with the people that you have going out and serving the people.
Yes.
That's your job, which is a tremendously important part of it. It's kind of like mobile nursing notes.
Well, it helps to when, I communicate with the providers so that we can better communicate with the families as well. Because a lot of when our providers go in and they're taking care of the receiver, then their children oftentimes live out of state. And so a lot of times they don't get that information right away. That if something happened, mom's not drinking enough, or mom wasn't feeling well today. And by the provider talking to me and writing it down on their provider service record, and I can read that and then talk it over with Jennifer, and we can discuss it with the family and say, there's a little bit of a change here in mom. She's more tired today than she was yesterday. And then the family can go from there and do what needs to be done, call the doctor if need be. We can make suggestions as well as to what we think may be the problem and how we think.
As a matter of intake on your clients, do you have a rule or a place where they sign that enables you to contact the extended family member if you think it's necessary?
Yes, yes.
So you can call without having to get permission. You already have permission to do that.
Right. And since we don't do the medical, we don't have to comply with HIPAA, although we do just to keep ourselves safe. But most of the times the family, well, I would say 80% of the time, the family's right there during that initial visit, so that we are all on the same page and how much communication is needed.
And I would imagine most families want you to give them an update, because at least getting the update from you two would be I'd say more accurate than we might get from their mother or father.
Well, a lot of times you call, I'm fine, because they don't want to worry their children.
They don't want them to worry.
Exactly, I'm fine, when really, no, mom's not fine.
Well, that's one of the advantages of a service like that you're providing, because you're providing a service to people that if something goes wrong, they could be out of that home and into an assisted living facility or a nursing home. And you're sort of the checkpoint in helping the extended family decide whether it's still safe for them to stay where they are or should they move.
And we're very honest about that. And I'll tell the senior that too, because sometimes the kids are so worried they want to move them right away. And they don't really need to move. They just need a little in-home help.
The family wants to move the parents.
Right. And I'll tell the kids, we'll be honest. If mom needs to move, we'll tell you that. But if mom's okay, we're going to tell you that too. And I'll tell mom that, that we're here for you and we'll keep you here safe as long as possible. But if there comes a time when you're not able to stay safely in your home, we're going to be honest about that too.
And that's the way it should be, Jennifer. It really should. Now, when you find that, let's say people may need more of a hands-on care than you're licensed to provide, then do you recommend to the family that they seek the other?
Absolutely, absolutely. Sometimes we are working in conjunction with another company. Maybe the person, in fact, we've got 2 cases like this right now where we're in the process of bringing in another company because we want them, we're not quite sure that the person's bathing effectively. So we want this other company to come in a couple of times a week for a couple of hours to make sure that that person is really cleaning themselves well, because we want to prevent a UTI. Eventually,
I know from personal experience and taking people to and from church that people often need help in taking a bath correctly and actually using the soap, because there's nothing worse in the world to have portable body odor when it's not necessary. And it's just a sad thing. It's a thing that maybe it doesn't happen to everybody growing older. It just, it doesn't. And that's what we have to keep in mind, that what your company does, it performs an individual service designed to find out what's happening right and what's happening maybe wrong to the people that you're serving. And the quicker we can determine that, we save the families money. We save the families money in terms of having to place somebody in advanced care when it's not necessary, or getting them there too quickly.
Right.
Yeah. What are some of the other might be, we say, lessons learned? Since the last time we talked, I know we had a couple of examples. Have you got any new examples of how your service has helped somebody? Something that would be something that our viewer could sort of relate to a story that you might tell.
One thing that I can think of that's different that I don't think we've ever talked about before is we have worked alongside hospice in a facility, which you don't think of for us and we don't really think about. But we had a lovely lady who was here. It was too late to move her closer to family. She was on hospice. They moved her to a facility. The family couldn't be here all the time. They were, I forget what state, but they were out of state, and they came down as often as possible, but they couldn't be here every day. So they brought us in. Hospice is wonderful, the facility was wonderful, but the family wanted someone that was just there to talk to her, just to be there for her, to report on a daily basis how she was doing, how she was feeling, just basically to dote on her. And so that's what we did. And we did that until the day that she passed. And it was an amazing experience. It was hard, but it really was a wonderful experience to be able to do that for someone.
I just heard about it. Somebody yesterday needed to go someplace, and they checked the price of an airplane ticket. It was $1,700 for a round-trip flight. So when you think in terms of people having to fly someplace to do for 1 or 2 days to be with somebody, the cost savings and your company providing that type of service is just fantastic. Plus, you got a person there, the person you place there, you go and make sure that person is compatible with the person.
Oh yes, and we talk to the family members.
And that's something we don't talk about a lot. You just don't send a worker there.
No, we really try to look to see.
What kind of process do you follow?
What are their interests? What are their hobbies? Where are they from originally? So that when we pick that person, we're really trying for a good fit that first time. If we know that they crochet, they're both from Ohio. Sometimes we've gotten really lucky. They worked at the same hospital in Ohio. And I love to claim that I did that on purpose, but that was actually news to me.
We have a provider who is a retired RN, and she actually worked with one of our receivers. She actually worked with her daughter and knew her daughter, had known her daughter was, before her daughter had passed away.
That's interesting.
So it's nice to be able to put people together that they feel comfortable with, and they can talk about the same subjects without feeling uncomfortable or without feeling like they're not being understood.
Right. Okay. And we tell them, if you are not comfortable at all for any reason, let us know. It just could be a personality conflict. It just is. You just did click, and that's all right. We'll take that person out and we'll try again. Okay. But we try very hard, not to have to do that. We'd like a match the first time.
One of the things that you talked about, or you wanted to talk about, was the fact that the benefits of seniors staying active. I think you're looking at as a point from the 90 people that you have providing services to people. But I would also assume that since it's senior people going in to take care of senior citizens, but since it's a better match, better fit, that the people receiving the care from your people would probably be more willing to do something that senior person wanted them to try to do, unless it was a young person.
Right, because they do have similar interests. So, musical tastes are a little bit more similar. So that they're willing to go to a concert because it's the same kind of concert they want to go to, same type of activity that they would like to go to. So we do encourage people to get out and be social. And so they're all similar interests, so they'll be a little bit more willing to go ahead and get in the car and go.
Okay, since I know you're willing to talk about this, I know a lot of people watching this show might be saying, yeah, I hear what Joe's saying, I hear what Jennifer and Riki are talking about, but what in the world can something like this, seems like it must cost a lot of money.
It really doesn't when you stop and think about it. Our base rate is $17 an hour, and we have a 2-hour minimum. That could be once a week, that could be once a month. And that's one thing as a business that we have decided that we were going to stick to. Business-wise, it would make more sense to have a higher minimum. But we chose to continue doing that 2-hour minimum because we feel that it meets the needs of the seniors in our community.
Well, I think it's smart for this because I sort of been in the same business and providing care to people. And I always found that people were more willing to have a service come in more often if they weighed the value of getting the service in more often, even though it might cost them a little bit more. By having a service like yours, you can come and have them come in more often at a lesser cost in the long run.
Right.
And I often think that the examples of some of the services you can provide, since you can do a service that many people do go into assisted living for because they're afraid of falling or anything like that. So if you could come in and help people do something like in the morning and at night, getting out of bed, getting into bed, when they're most likely to fall or hurt themselves, you might be able to do that for $1,000 or $1,500 a month.
Right.
And you put them in an assisted living facility, you're looking at $3,500 to $4,500 to $5,000.
And they might have just had surgery and they only need us for a couple of nights. Let us help you get a little bit better so you can stay home, you know, instead of taking a fall the night that you get home from the hospital.
Yeah. Do you train your people in having them understand how to use walking devices and canes? And is there any kind of a training program for your people to go into the homes?
Because we don't do the hands-on, there's not an official training program, but most of our folks have a good, you know, basic knowledge of all of those things because they're seniors themselves. So they have taken care of a husband or a mom or a dad who have also used them. And we also always go by, if there's a physical therapist, we go by what the physical therapist says.
You've been in business, what now, 5 years?
5 years.
5
April
years.
1st is 5 years.
And how many of the people that you had, I know a lot of ladies that started out with you. How many of those ladies you still have left? 40%, 50, 60%?
From the people that worked with us or the people that...
No, the people that you started with, how many of those people do you estimate you still have working with you?
For our caregivers?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know percentage, but we still have quite a few. We just had a provider meeting this week, and a lot of them were there.
Well, we're out of time, so, but we'll do this again, and I want to thank you, Riki, for being here. Thank you, Jennifer, for taking your time to come here.
Thank you.
And I hope you, our listeners, have benefited a little bit more about seniors helping seniors and realize that there's something in it for you, too. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm Joe Steckler. Thank you for joining our program today. I'd like to remind you that our senior information line is available to you at 321-473-7770. There you can get help and direction that could be helpful for your specific situation or circumstances. The work of helping seniors is very important, but we can't do it alone. That is why our sponsors here in Brevard County are so important. I'd like to thank our many area sponsors, businesses and medical providers who support the mission of helping seniors that help us carry the cost of our media efforts. If you'd like to join us either as a business partner or simply donate as an individual, we would welcome your call at 321-473-7770. You are always welcome to visit our website at www.helpingseniorsofbrevard.org. Thanks so much for your help. It does make a difference.